SmackDown, not great. Let's go back to Raw.
Oh, no.
All right, so because I have I'm going to try once again to run the show, even though you like to jump all over me, but we're going to do it. So, recap of Sheamus and Drew's friendship, which we saw 3 times on SmackDown already. Shane O'Mac in the ring. Why? With Adam. Double why. We're going to do Elimination Chamber for the belts. For the belt. So Drew's going to wrestle former champions Jeff Hardy, Randy Orton, AJ Styles, The Miz, and Sheamus.
Who doesn't have COVID? Let's look around the locker room.
Shane says, "You're amazing. Keep it up." No, really, you are. And I'm like, this was awkward as hell.
By the way, I'm pretty certain that Vince threw Linda through the window at Sly Stallone to get Hogan in the movie, because is it just me, or is Shane starting to look less like Vince and more like Stallone?
So, I have no idea. So then AJ comes out. AJ smiles at Osmos. Osmo looks like, I don't know who the fuck you are. Why are you smiling at me? I'm like, this was your bodyguard.
Shane's line was, "This is a great card. You're doing awesome." And then he just leaves.
Right.
So I wrote down Adam's fucked.
AJ gets to beat up Jeff Hardy again.
AJ cut a awful promo.
Yeah.
AJ's promo was awful.
Yeah. AJ gets to beat up Jeff Hardy again. Yay.
I wrote down, I saw this in TNA 10 years ago. It was better and faster.
Yeah. Drew, Shane backstage. Drew, hey, I thought it was me and Sheamus was going to be a one-on-one. This is better. Is it though?
I wish that he would have said plans change and just took a dig at Uncle Dave. It's like, no, this was...
Is it though? I mean, granted, they have an Elimination Chamber in 2 weeks.
Why would you put Drew, who... Okay.
So they can get the belt off him.
Why? Right before Mania?
So Edge has an opponent he can beat.
Have him beat Drew!
No. Have him beat... No.
The whole point of Drew having...
No.
Oh,
no.
God.
No. So...
Who is Edge going to fight? Let's reread this card. Drew, Randy is the only logical choice if they're going to take it off.
Sheamus.
Jeff Hardy, AJ, The Miz, and Sheamus. You're telling me that Edge and Sheamus main eventing WrestleMania...
No, I'm sorry. Let me rephrase that. Sheamus is going to win, and then Drew's going to get the belt back from Sheamus in front of a live crowd. Okay, moving on.
Because Edge is going to pick...
Balor.
You think he's going to pick Balor? Okay, continue.
So
this was an awful, awful match.
So did Jeff just take out his own knee?
Yep.
Okay. After the break and the calf crusher, he can't even run 3 steps. Wow. Why didn't he submit after that calf crusher? So it's a fake injury. You've just no-sold the injury that you're selling so hard.
My note to this that made everyone giggle before the show was, this was so slow it started going backwards.
Yeah.
This was awful.
Then we got Sheamus bitching backstage.
Winner, AJ by submission, 1 star.
Xavier and Kofi versus Mace and T-Bar.
Didn't get it.
So, Mustafa Ali now has bass in his voice. He's talking like this. And he's got angry Middle Eastern voice going on.
Oh, God. Are they making him talk with an accent?
No, not an accent.
Okay, thank God.
Just deeper voice. We are hungry. The New Day has been fed. And they have had seconds. We are hungry. When are we going to get fed? So I guess it's kind of an accent. Kofi pins T-Bar.
If you use less syllables, I guess makes it more. Kofi pins T-Bar.
2.0 match.
Well, okay, whatever.
Yep. And then Mustafa Ali yells at them again. Apparently they're trying to go for a Xavier versus Reckoning intergender match for some reason. I don't get it. All right. Next we have Bad Bunny with Priest. Which apparently Bad Bunny is going to wrestle. It is going to happen. He's going to wrestle probably at WrestleMania. He's going to wrestle, what's his face? The Angel Garza. So, then we have Lacey Evans. Lacey Evans with Ric Flair.
Rick and Lacey are in the ring. Rick cuts the best promo on the show, which proves why he's still...
Did his tie look like it may have been too tight and made his face look so fat?
I thought Rick looked healthy here.
He looked healthier than he has, but his face looked a lot fatter.
Rick reminds me of that old grandpa who just had nothing to do and was just ready to die. And then now that they gave him something to do, he had color in his face. He did not look dried out like a leather fucking rawhide.
His suit looked nice.
His suit looked baller, man. Oh,
it's like the fabric
man.
my wife uses to make her purses.
Like, this was dope. And then I wrote down, apparently Lacey is getting her tan from Pete Duneland.
Charlotte has it all wrong. I'm not here to take your place. I'm here to learn.
She cuts a promo that basically undercuts and kills Rick's promo that makes this back to mediocre, and then out comes Charlotte, who proceeds to cut probably the best promo she's cut in years.
If you wanted to learn from me, if you want to learn, you need to go bring your ass back up to Orlando, go to the Performance Center.
Which is funny because there was that whole thing with the Performance Center with Lacey and them. That was funny. Then Lacey basically says, I'm not trying to fight you. It's like we should be getting along. We're both fans of your dad. And she goes, tag team? And Rick goes, yeah, tag team. And Charlotte goes, fuck you. I'm friends with Asuka. And then Lacey goes, yeah, you're right. Fuck you. And just punches her.
But they were a tag team together. They were a tag team together for like 4 months.
By the way, apparently Rick made a match to have... If Lacey, even though Rick, the whole thing, and they're going with, is that he doesn't want this to be an issue between them, but yet he made a match. He was able to get a match from the.
But he was like, well, I didn't do that. I didn't do that.
If Lacey beats Charlotte, she will get a shot at Asuka for the women's championship, which was fine. That Lacey basically said something along the lines of, "Hey, I'm not here for tag team. I'm here for singles gold," which I guess means Peyton Royce is now. Okay, and then she cheap shots Charlotte. Backstage, Miz and Morrison and Angel Garcia walk around.
You didn't get the match?
Nope, hold on, because that happened in between of this. They literally cut to that before they came back to the match. Lacey and Charlotte for the number one contenders, I think. Lacey, if Lacey's training under Rick, she isn't paying attention.
No.
This is slow as AJ and Jeff. Lacey lands right on her knee after doing the moonsault where Charlotte's supposed to kick her knees up, and Lacey lands right on it. She looks right at the ref and goes, basically, no, I'm selling. So that was fun. Charlotte starts working heel in the middle of the match. Don't know why.
Charlotte gets DQ'd after hitting the ref and beating the piss out of Lacey.
Which means...
Which one's the heel? I'm going to ask you this a bunch of times tonight.
Fuck this shit.
Which one's the heel? Edge comes to the ring.
Edge. I just can't decide. I'm so indecisive.
I gotta wait for the dust to settle.
I want to see what happens. And then out comes the Miz. And then Edge fucking destroys the Miz on the mic.
Awesome!
Oh my God.
Are you talking about the I'm playing high stakes poker and you're playing old maid? Been there, done that?
Eviscerated him. And because he says,
you want to be the champ. I need to be the champ.
No. What he said was even better than that. Because what he said was, I see you, and you're walking around, and he goes, I've been gone 10 years. This is where you've made your name at. And you're fine being Mr. Money in the Bank, being Mr. I'm Awesome. Well, that's just not good enough for me. He goes, you want to call yourself the planner, the thinker? I'm the opportunist, and you're stupid, and you just told me what you're going to try and do to me. Now I'm going to be planning for it. You're fine being where you're at. I'm not fine where I'm at.
Right.
I'm going to walk out the champion. That was a fucking promo, man. He killed the Miz on the mic. Edge was through the ringer this week on every show, and every time he spoke, what he said just resonated, in my opinion. It was great. And then I wrote down, why is Angel Garza with the Miz and Morrison? Why did Miz need another guy?
Because of what happens next.
And then I wrote down, why is Bad Bunny getting an entrance all to his own?
Because he's going to wrestle Garza at WrestleMania.
Why? Because also, okay, people, I'm old. I'm out of touch. I don't like new things, you know.
Has anybody ever actually heard of Bad Bunny?
It's the Simpsons meme of, I used to be with it, but then what I was with changed, and now I don't like it. It'll happen to you one day. You know,
is Bad Bunny really a thing?
I've never heard of this guy. They keep calling him this worldwide phenomenon cell person. Like,
Never heard of him.
I've never heard of him. And what I did hear of him for the snippets at Royal Rumble, I was not impressed with. He's not physically impressive. It's not like when Flo Rida threw a punch on Miz a couple years ago. Flo Rida's a big son bitch.
Yeah.
If this was like Busta Rhymes or something, or anybody.
Right. Garza doesn't stand a chance inside of a chance. Quote from Dad. Garza does not stand a chance inside of a chance.
By the way, this is Angel Garza versus Damian Priest. My pick. All the commentary team talks about is Bad Bunny. All they talk about is Bad Bunny and how awesome it is that Bad Bunny and Priest are here. And Priest is not getting even half the camera time that this fucking Bad Bunny guy is getting.
So do you call... So Bad Bunny distracts the ref by calling out shenanigans. Whatever. There was a move in there. I want to call this move officially the double tap clothesline. Where he's like, pow, pow!
Man, it's like nobody looks like Priest. Nobody moves like Priest, really, for the most part, except for maybe Brian Cage.
Right.
For somebody who's that big and that talented for what he can do. And man, why is he in this spot?
So once again, we have Bad Bunny throwing the case in the ring, causing the ref to see Morrison win the ring. He gets sent out. Once again, we have a, hey ref, cheating that's not really cheating. And once again, Priest wins before Miz and Morrison even get out of the ringside area.
Yep, because I actually made a note of that
this just happened on TV.
Priest was getting jumped. Bad Bunny does his distraction thing, which causes the boys to run into the ring. The ref turns around and goes, hey, get the fuck out of here. You're kicked out of ringside. And then Priest gets back in the ring and beats Garza in 3 seconds. Literally 3 seconds from the ref kicking them out. This was a 1-star match. And then the announcers proceed to plug how cool it is that Bad Bunny's here again, including they go backstage for a segment before they talk to Drew, where the girl's backstage and talks about how awesome Bad Bunny is. Is Bad Bunny our new breakout star of 2021?
We'll see.
Drew cuts a promo, says he's going to rip your face off like a fucking baboon. I told you about the Drew promo
I will
in
rip
TNA.
faces. I will rip. I'm not going to crack. I will rip faces off.
I told you about the promo he cut in TNA where he said that he was so willing to win the championship that he would kill himself.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody, including me, laughed at men that if he doesn't win, which he didn't, does that mean he's just going to blow his brains out? Like, or is that how he's going to win? Like, that was one of those weird promo where Drew kind of went off script, and maybe Drew shouldn't have gone off script on that.
Bro.
Oh, God. Backstage, Bianca Belair can't decide either. Why is this storyline running concurrent with Edge? Why can no one make up their mind? Bianca is also not challenging Io, which we talked about. Out comes Asuka. They both proceed to shit on Lacey Evans because why wouldn't you? Match 4, Bro versus Keith Lee, who has cleared COVID protocol. And I wrote down, Dear God, Keith Lee, please save this show. Nope, never mind.
Oh, no. Keith Lee was amazing in this.
No, I'm sorry. Riddle, Black Eye. Wonder what happened there. Lots of the same Keith Lee Riddle spots. The same ones we've seen for 3 months now. Because they did the arm bar and Keith powered up one arm out of the arm bar. He did the big one-arm slam. They need to start doing a little bit of something with Keith that shows what we saw in NXT. And Riddle would have been a guy to work with who could do it. Because I'm really getting tired of clothesline, shoulder block. Oh my God, how strong is Keith Lee? I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying it was the same.
Okay, but it was refreshing from what we've had so far.
So I will say this was the diamond that was just shoved up a camel's ass, man. This was awful. Winner Keith Lee, 2-star. Show of respect after. It's okay. They're both kind of faces. Then, as JR would say, business picked up.
So MVP on commentary was part of the reason this match happened. So this was more of an angle than a match. And they treated it like, maybe that's why they just treated it like an angle instead of a match.
I will say I love that MVP called Keith Lee a walking kaiju. Oh, God.
But he did say it every time, yep, that's impressive.
But
it's
Bobby
not
Lashley.
But it's not Bobby. That's pretty good. But it's not Bobby.
And why? Because he goes, I'm about to show you why. And Bobby Lashley comes out. And son of a bitch, okay, I said this a week or so ago. I realize I'm not like a big Bobby Lashley guy, right? Like, he's such a physically impressive specimen, and he has a great story. And he is a legit badass, I would say, for his MMA training and the fact he was a fucking ranger. Like, he's got a great story. But Bobby Lashley, as presented as a WWE creation, is not really that interesting to me. He got real interesting tonight because that sumbitch one hand picked up Keith Lee and slammed his fucking 350-pound ass through the mat. And then he beat the ever-loving shit out of him. Holy cow, we've never seen anybody do this to Keith Lee. Not even Karrion really did this to Keith Lee.
Nope.
And if you're going to have somebody do it, it damn well be Bobby Lashley. Because if Sami Zayn would have come out here and tried to do that to him, no, it's unbelievable. It's a child fighting a fucking Panzer tank.
Okay, so next we have Randy backstage, whining and crying as normal. Okay, and this is where you don't have. This is where I have that you did not get.
Oh, I could tell that I didn't get something because we immediately went from Randy being evil to Randy in the ring.
So I wrote why. It is Lana versus Nia Jax in a table match. Why? Nia with Baszler versus Lana and Naomi. Table match. Why? Within 10 seconds, Nia has slammed her like 3 times and Lana's crying. Why is this happening? Yeah. I wrote. Are they... So then there's a table outside the ring and Lana's doing the whole... Nia's doing the whole, am I going to fall backwards? I'm going to fall backwards. No, she's not.
Oh, wait, please tell us the stipulation for this match.
It's a table match.
Okay, I want to make, I don't know if you can plug that.
That's right.
So, this is a table match, and if you guys remember from any of our previous shows, or been watching Raw, if you have, I'm sorry, for a long time, Nia was putting Lana through tables.
After table, after table, after table, after table. Now,
I think it was 11 weeks.
So, then... he punches Lana again. Lana's laying on the side of the thing, and Nia goes to do her leg drop. Now, this has been taken off of the network.
I'm going to laugh if you hit play on this and the tweet's been deleted through to WWE copyright.
So, WWE has eliminated this from reshowings, and it completely took this match off of Hulu.
So, before you hit play real quick, I do want to ask you a question on your side. Did they turn the crowd pumped in noise down for you? No. Because when I watched this show, I really didn't hear it unless it was entrance, big spot.
No, it was going throughout.
Okay, so this cleared. This proves, by the way, that, as we've talked about, that Bailey said, we're getting the crowd noise
Roman
pumped
being
in digitally.
Roman being booed for forever.
Well, no, I'm saying Raw specifically. The crowd noise turned down a lot for me.
I really can't say that.
So Nia Jax is
going to do a leg drop
on the ropes, and she's going to do a leg drop onto Lana, who is positioned on the outside of the ring apron.
So this may or may not be playable because WWE.
This could have been pulled by the time we had this loaded.
Still reinforcement out there, Tom. A lot of still got to find a way to get Jax through the table.
So first she says, my butt, which is not as intelligible, and then she says, my hole.
So apparently... Nia landed right on... The car drove through the tunnel. I'm guessing that she is not a fan of going in through the outdoor. So, by the way, I want to say this about Lana. She's trying so hard.
Not to laugh.
And she could not help it. She just basically dropped her jaw wide open on the floor like, oh, God.
And the thing about this match that was, I think Lana's had some work done recently.
Yes, she has. Either that or whoever's doing her makeup is just like, all right, Lana, sit in the chair.
No, that's not what I'm talking about. I thought there was twice where her breasts were going to fall out of her top. I didn't remember them being that big. But anyway.
I don't know if she had that.
So then... what you're going to see here, what's going to happen very next in the clip is she's going to push Lana into the table that's crocked on the side. So Lana actually wins this match.
Uh-huh.
And then we immediately go to Shayna versus Naomi. And Naomi wins. We're setting up Naomi and Lana are going to take the belts off of Nia and Baszler, and Lana's going to do nothing to make that happen.
Yep, because Naomi's talented. Shayna
She is.
Baszler's fairly okay. And then Nia and Lana are, well, she just tore her asshole open by doing a leg drop.
My hole! And there's a whole lot of internet stuff about this. I may try to tag some of it. Anyway, so then we go to the big match of the night, Randy versus Drew.
1 minute into the match, out comes Sheamus. Drew gets dropped outside. Match gets better for a few. And then Sheamus runs in, and he goes to hit Drew from behind. He lays out Randy. Match gets called off. Drew then turns around and lays out Sheamus. They were having a 2-star match.
Mm-hmm.
But this was dumb. And I hate... Fuck this show.
Okay.
This show was not good. This was, as we said, there's a difference between a night off and there's just not showing up.
So here's some interesting data that I pulled. AEW has a 2-hour show.
Okay.
So, well, first, if you were going to guess, on average, how much time is wrestling and how much time is commercials and backstage segments?
I have played this game with TNA in the past, and I did not win.
So, just on average, what would you say the breakdown is?
AEW's probably actually got a little bit more
just
wrestling.
across the board. If you were to guess, what would you think it would be? If it's a 2-hour show, how much of that is wrestling?
40 minutes.
40 minutes, okay. So the average is actually about 55 minutes.
Okay.
Because in a half, so basically every half hour is 20 minutes without a commercial. So for an hour is 40 minutes. So, and you get half of it promo, half of it ring. So, AEW.
Marshall goes and said, get him.
So,
yeah.
You have AEW. They had 2-hour show, 47 minutes, 50 seconds of wrestling.
Okay. I'm not saying it's good wrestling.
Right.
Please.
But they also had a 20-minute wedding segment. NXT, 2-hour show. They had 1 hour, 30 seconds of wrestling. NXT UK, 1-hour show. 32 minutes and 20 seconds of wrestling.
Like I said, this week was not good for them.
Ring of Honor, a 1-hour show.
Mm-hmm.
23 minutes and 17 seconds worth of wrestling.
Okay.
SmackDown, they did not give times. Raw, a 3-hour show.
And I get an hour and 25 recap, and this was so miserable for me to watch.
By these rules, you should have
2 hours of
80 to 90 minutes of wrestling.
Yeah.
80 to 90 minutes.
I'm guessing Raw probably had closer to 23 minutes.
58 minutes of wrestling in 3 hours.
Yeah.
3 hours.
Yeah.
That is 2 hours of promos.
Yeah. Well, don't forget, as we just pointed out, this was them talking about how awesome Bad Bunny's here.
2 hours of promos. And promos, so I have Riddle Keith Lee promo, Drew promo, Sheamus promo, Priest promo, Charlotte promo, Drew promo, Belair promo, Belair promo, Asuka promo, Randy promo.
Well, okay, let me throw this out.
There's like 12 people in the show.
Let me throw this out, though, and let me ask you a question, because we've talked about... We said this earlier in the show, all right? And I know we want to wrap up here in a minute, and I apologize. I'll rewatch this and figure out where we're going along at.
We're actually 15 minutes ahead of schedule.
Yeah, true. But, okay, so riddle me this, Batman. Is this the case of Elimination Chambers Sunday? Now...
Next Sunday.
So it's coming up next Sunday.
They have one more show. They have still have a go.
No, I thought it was this Sunday.
No, this Sunday is NXT's show.
This Sunday's TakeOver?
Yes.
So it's next Sunday. Oh, God, this makes even less sense.
Right. That's what I'm saying. This is the NXT show this weekend.
This took a
on Valentine's
shitty
Day.
turn. I thought it was this
No.
coming week. I'm way off anyway. Okay, so anyway.
So why would you have? I mean, it's
So
bad enough
I
there's
thought-
2 weeks between a pay per
I
view.
thought because they're going to do Elimination Chamber. Elimination Chamber is incredibly hard on the body.
Right, and they've only got 2 matches.
And they've only got 2 so far set up. They'll probably have the
No,
tag
3.
match.
3.
I
Well,
guarantee
2.
you they'll have the women's tag. And then maybe
That's the 3rd. So you have confirmed.
Bad Bunny and Dipshit.
That's not confirmed. You have confirmed.
Oh, wait, that's WrestleMania.
You have confirmed Riddle, Lee, and Lashley
Because the heel has to... Okay.
for the belt. So one of them,
Okay.
I think Riddle's going to take off. I think Riddle's going to walk away with the.
I thought Vince said
Intercon-
he doesn't want him to be...
I don't care what Vince said. And then you have the Elimination Chamber match.
Vince is the one who's deciding this shit. Okay, so you have that. So
Nothing from SmackDown's been said.
fucking up my whole line of thought was, did they take the night off because they want the guys to be safe for that? And how much of an excuse can you have for that if they took the nights off to keep the guys safe, and then they kept the guys safe the following week because they just had the Elimination Chamber match the night before? Like, this was just an awful, awful, awful show.
It was.
Like-
And there was no Alexa.
There was no Alexa. There's still no Bray, which is fine. Here's the thing, okay? And as you pointed out, the times and the things that happen, at least the Nia stuff I can make fun of.
Right.
But let's say,
No Asuka on the show.
no, Asuka was there because she comes out and says, Bianca, you're not ready for Asuka,
Oh, yeah,
but
yeah.
I'm ready for Lacey.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to be funny with my voice. That's just,
Right.
we know what Asuka's promo sounds like. But here's the thing, and I thought about this after the show. Is it almost more entertaining to watch really bad, stupid shit of people being murdered and set on fire and being fucking Randy Orton face makeup? Because then we have something to talk about
Oh, by the way,
of doing that.
Randy's facial hair came in really fast after that burn.
But we can at least talk about, okay, we can say, this is a bad wrestling show, but someone like my wife who enjoys theatrical sections of Alexa and stuff like that can enjoy the Alexa stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That gives us something to do. This show was awful. This
Right.
show was awful because we had nothing to talk about, nothing to rip apart, and the wrestling was garbage, and nobody gave a shit on this show, except for Nia, who might not be able to shit again properly for quite some time.
So we're going to talk about last thing before we go off the air. So cardboard cutouts. So we know that WrestleMania is going to be in the same place the Super Bowl was just played, and Vince said, "I don't want to do no cardboard cutouts. No, we're not doing that. We're going to figure it out. We're gonna blah 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 blah." And then he watched the Super Bowl, and he's like, "Well, that actually looked pretty good." So Vince has gone from absolutely not to let's discuss cardboard cutouts. So there may be a chance for you to have your cardboard cutout at WrestleMania.
If you're having some money fourth quarter troubles with that, do it. Sell it. $10.
Right.
Get your WrestleMania
Yeah,
pass.
they're going to $10.
You know what I'm saying, okay?
All right, so
$50 to get somebody in the stands in WrestleMania?
we discovered,
I'd probably do it.
we have already discussed that Steve Cutler was fired.
Uh-huh.
Eva Marie is still practicing in the Performance Center.
Okay.
Where is
Oh, we already hit everything that I had saved on my thing for...
Sarah Louise? All right, and so the last bit of rumor, interesting thing that you can think about, Zelina Vega.
Okay.
Saturday, her 90 days are up.
Ooh. Without going too far into the weeds in this, the 90-day thing is crap because they're independent contractors.
Right, yeah, that's...
That's another show. But AEW has to give her a chance to talk.
And if AEW, if she goes to AEW, does her husband follow? He would work well there.
He would probably work well there. And the question for her is, I don't remember her being that bad. So
She was good in I believe she was
So
in
is
Lucha
she-
Underground. And she was good there, but
yeah, it was either Lucha Underground or what was the other thing that was on for a while. Either way, I'm drawing a blank. I apologize.
what happened to Charlotte's husband?
Yeah,
Andrade.
Andrade. Because
He's
if,
basically Lucha douche now.
if she comes into AEW, does she win the AEW Women's gauntlet tournament thing that they had to
They
push
announced
that up?
They announced all of the. Oh, they announced all of the.
Oh wait, we know who the winner is. It's going to be Riho. Kenny, you said I'd be champion.
She was for too long.
Again, I'm being a dick.
Yeah. Yes, Marshall. Bray and Alexa is the storyline that I care most about too. Bray is going to come back to life at some point.
How sad is that? How sad is it that people who are literally dying, murdering, teleporting,
But she's so adorable.
having costume, alternate personality changes, control over the lighting equipment, making fucking the CFO of the company disappear with a magical flaming sledgehammer is the most interesting thing on the show, as opposed to going, God damn, AJ Styles and Shinsuke Nakamura put on the best wrestling match in the world. No, doesn't happen. Doesn't happen.
So what we're going to do next week, first of all, next week we're going to have our violence show.
We are going ultra violent, and the sad thing is I'm supposed to be in charge of this, and my work has been hell recently.
We're also going to be talking about a pay-per-view, so we will cut some corners somewhere. But I think what I would like to do next week also is look at the... I want you to do some homework.
Okay.
Over the next week, look at the Raw roster.
Okay.
Now look at the Raw roster and tell me where they could get better.
Okay. So, like, you mean...
Like,
Are you asking put a guy in a different direction, or are we talking
Like,
about cuts and things like that?
no, if we were taking the pie that they have,
Okay.
how would you slice it differently?
I mean, honestly...
With what the talent they have, who would you be pushing maybe? Who would you be... Yeah, no. How would you make it better? Because I feel like there's only 12 wrestlers on Raw, and I know there's more.
Well, okay, so, granted, are we talking what we have the day of show drops, knowing that COVID exists in the
Okay,
world?
here's the other thing. Vince McMahon missed the last 3 weeks.
Because of his brother's death.
So he's back now. Does it feel like the show's reflects that Vince is back?
Oh, God, this was a mess. This was a jumbled cluster.
Like maybe this was rewritten in 10 minutes before the show?
This was... Oh, yeah.
That's all we've got for today. Next week we're going to talk about violence.
Bit of the old ultra-violence.
And we're going to talk about what should be hopefully a really good NXT takeover, because we've only had one bad NXT takeover that I can remember in history. So I'm looking forward to some really good wrestling at NXT takeover.